One. First, I want to thank you, Amy, for coming on today. Welcome to the Leverage Playbook. This is where we're going to show how we talk business, money, and relationships that move both. I'm your host, Anthony, coming to you from the DMV, where every single episode we are going to look to bring you real conversations with real people doing real work, sharing the strategies, the moves, and the proof that most people never get access to. So if you're someone who's working towards the next level, open to learning, and ready to take action, and tired of leaving opportunities on the table, this show is built for you. In today's episode, I have someone I'm actually very genuinely excited to talk about, and so we're going to get into it, right? Now, what if I were to tell you that someone who put in 20K for 5 years and 10 years later had an account that's sitting on 1.9 million? No gimmicks, no get rich quick schemes, just a strategy that most financial advisors never bring to the table. My guest today has been in commercial real estate for over a decade. She flips properties, manages short term rentals, helps businesses also secure SBA loans using collateral most people don't even have. She has tested every single strategy on herself before she even recommends it to her clients. I'd like to welcome to the Leverage Playbook, Miss Netayo. Let's get
Thank
into it.
you. Thank you, Anthony. It's a pleasure to be here and with you and actually sharing you my secret, what I have done for the past 10 years as a, real estate investor and financial advisor and also a business consultant that I have been helping my client all around California and also in some different states. Yes.
No, this is outstanding. Yes, I thank you for your time, Amy. Like I said, I'm really excited to get through this conversation and more importantly, share the impact and what we can do for our community. So, if you don't mind, I really would just love it for you to tell us, man, who you are. How did you get started in real estate and what drew you into it?
The funny thing is, I get started with the real estate investment by the first piece that I bought was timeshare in Florida that closed
Oh, wow.
Disney World because I wanted to take my sister to Disney World and I ended up bought a timeshare when I was 22. Oh my. So I love that timeshare, but I think now I look back, it's not the right time because, at that time I just started. I think, oh, I had a condo, but you don't know what
Hmm.
come with that timeshare condo. Yes. So at 22, I got that timeshare. And then every day I call the gentleman that who sold me that and say, why do you sell this to me? And he say, Amy, what do you do for a living? I say, I am an engineering administrator for Philips. So, Amy, I think you had a skill to become a realtor. You're really good.
Mm.
Why don't he look it up the school in San Jose or and then he say, how about you go take the class? That's how my journey to real estate started because of that timeshare and talking to that agent. And
No, outstanding.
yes, and 3 years later, when I was 25, I bought my first property. And surprisingly, my first life insurance also bought after I bought that property. My friend told me that, Amy, you need to protect your family. And, just in case anything happened to you can leave the house to your father free and clear. So
Mm.
my first life insurance when I was 25, and I still have it until now. And what kind of policy that I have back then? I have a whole life insurance, and let me share with you how does that look like now. Okay.
Mm. Perfect. No, that's beautiful though. Like even just to hear your journey as far as starting in one section and being exposed to timeshares, and now whole time realizing my calling was something else.
Yes. You never know what, life throw into you. So this is my actual statement for 2024. And I bought it when I was 25. So let's take a look together.
Awesome. This is exciting.
Yes. So you can see this is a farmer who sold my house insurance also. And you can see I bought this one when I was 25, 2000, 2002. So I bought it for 250,000 back then, and this is the whole life insurance. And
Mm.
I I barely paid into this policy, and you see right now this policy I have about 16,829, and I put only $1,000 a year into it just to keep it afloat because the current interest rate that I receive enough to pay for my cost of insurance. So as you can see right here, so let
Oh
me
wow.
deep dive. So you can see that I put in $1,000. The interest credit for this
Hmm.
policy is 7.2, but my cost insurance is about 400. So I don't have to put the money in, but I like to put it in, just to keep the policy. And they pay you a fixed interest rate for the whole life insurance. And the interest rate I get paid is 4.5%. So that's
Oh wow.
nothing my
That's a current statement too, right?
yes, this is the statement you can see right here.
On the six, yeah.
Yes. So in 2024. Okay. So that's how I started with the real estate.
No, outstanding. Now this is a beautiful, and then also having your whole life insurance where it has the capability of pretty much paying out your property outright in the case that something happens to you when it does. Now your family's not left with a liability, but they're taken care of.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, that's exactly what life insurance can do, especially for family. Let's say the husband is the only one working, and if anything happened to
Hmm.
him, the last thing he wants that his family out in the street. So this is where life insurance come in also.
Outstanding. I love it. And so I would love to ask where, with your 10 years of over experience in commercial real estate, right? What's been the biggest lesson the industry has taught you about money?
Talking about leveraging, that's one of the things.
Mm.
In any investor, I think leveraging is very important and diversify because you see what happened to COVID. A lot of commercial building, nobody come to work anymore, right? We all work from home, so who gonna pay for to keep the maintain the building? And some of the retail center, I have seen them demolished and it become a low income housing. So as what I have seen is you have to diversify and make sure you have emergency fund when you need it because you don't know when it come. So that's what I see, and then willing to adapt to the new. For example, nowadays I have seen a lot of building turn into a pickleball sports center, or in
That pickleball is taking over the world, right?
yeah, yeah. So so I'm
No,
ready.
that's outstanding.
Yes,
Thank you for sharing that out, right? And to your point, like the times changing and leveraging and not diversifying is now more important than ever, right?
right.
One of the things I wanted to also kind of share is you also in your background, you're very modest about this, but didn't share, but you also produce films and manage actors. How are you balancing all of these different worlds?
The only one thing I have to say, when you have the heart to help people, sometimes people they know exactly what they need to do, but they just need you to
Mm-hmm.
tell them, "I walk with you." They just need that
Yes, ma'am.
simplicity, and that's how I come in helping. I starting my first feature film as the last piece of the puzzle, the last investor in that, and I saved the entire project because somebody pulled out the investment at the last minute. The movie happened. And little did I know, I didn't expect anything from that movie. We received a 54 international award for that first movie that we did.
Outstanding.
And then I published two books behind the scene after that. So that's my hobby. And
No,
yeah, so that the first movie, 6 years later, um, last year, we just released the second movie. And we just joined the Palm Spring International movie. We won one of the movie in Hawaii. We win the award in Hawaii in November. Yes.
no, outstanding. Congratulations. And I love that.
Thank you.
What strikes me about everything that you just shared is the idea of spotting the opportunity where others just don't see it, right?
And
And nowhere is that more clear than what you're doing with your clients. Go ahead.
yes, and then you when you're willing to help people, everything that come from they trust you. So
Mm-hmm.
from the movie executive producer, I become managing a star because my actress, she's scared to go into the Hollywood scene. So I tell
Right.
her, I do it with her. So I film her, and then we audition for Beep. If you look it up, BEEF on Netflix. They won a 4 Emmy award a few years ago, and
Outstanding.
yes, and my actress play in the mother of Ali Wong in that movie. So it's really fun. Get a chance to learn about a different industry. Yes,
Yes, ma'am. I love it. I'll definitely make sure to add this into the comments so our community and watchers can definitely tap into that, right?
yes,
Um, but even to do a quick transition, what I love is with your ability to serve and want to give to others, is what you're doing with your clients around SBA loans and collateral. And I want to kind of get into that because I think this is something that's going to be very surprising to people, and it's going to be something that they'll really draw from most from this conversation, right? And so to really kind of switch this over, what I want to do is say, based on kind of the exposure you've had, walk us through that SBA loan collateral strategy and how did that conversation first come about with some of the clients that you've worked with?
yes. So in the commercial real estate, I picked the sector that maybe nobody like to work on, which is helping the small business um,
Hmm.
sector because the commission is smaller. But I saw that nobody doing it. And my focus, being a Vietnamese, and the Vietnamese, if you talk about phở restaurant or the nail salon, you know that majority of Vietnamese own those businesses. And the SBA loan that I did for my client, um, he opened the second location for one of the franchise bakery, and help him go through that process. And the bank said, yeah, we can do the loan, SBA loan, but you need more collateral. So
Mm.
the
Okay.
fastest way to add the collateral into your, financial portfolio is a life insurance. So let me show you how. So the process almost the same as you apply for any term insurance or life insurance, the same process, but there are two extra steps that you're gonna do, and let me share with you. So the extra step you have to do, you have to fill out the form. It's called, let me see.
No, to your point, that's very interesting strategy that you kind of came up on the whim there.
Yes, yes. So this is the one that two extra form that you have to do with the regular process as a managing agent. So you will fill, there's a form called business insurance worksheet. Typically, it's just that your financial, you
Can you see your
disclose
screen?
what you do, business. Yes. Oh, sorry. I thought I did. Let me once again.
No worries.
Let's screen. Okay. Did you see my screen yet? Okay. So
I
this
think it
is the
should be
extra
rolling
step.
up in this.
Yes. Let me know. So I will wait for it to load.
Just thank you for your patience. Yep,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
coming
Let me know.
up now.
Okay.
Yep, we're live now. I see your screen.
Okay. Yes. So this is the extra step that you have to do, like a business insurance worksheet. You just disclose your finance. So all these things is it's just the simple question that you have to answer. So this form, usually the underwriter that you work with, they will send it to you and they tell you, oh, get this form fill out and signed by your customer. Yes. So sometimes that this policy I be able to get it under approval like in 2 weeks complete. But the longest process I have to say because they have to do notary and business owner they busy. So for them to run to the bank
Hmm.
that but everything is fast. But that what the form looked like. And
Mm.
there's one more form
No,
you will fill out. Can I move on to the next one, or this is okay?
yeah, this is you go to the next one.
Okay, so the next one,
And
I
as you
have to fill out. Yes, go ahead, tell me.
Yes, quick question I have is kind of like with I guess most people thinking about collateral as property or cash in the bank, right? How did you kind of explain this, or
Yeah,
what was your client's first reaction when you told them about this proposal?
actually, that using life insurance collateral is it was practiced long time ago, but sometimes depend on what bank that you apply and what their guidelines. Some of them they may allow you to use life insurance, so this all depend on the lender, and they will tell you if like if you want to refinance your building and you don't have enough in collateral, they will tell you, oh, you go get the life insurance.
Disconnect.
So in this case, my client he had his own life insurance, but
Like technology got the best of you.
when you share multiple screen, I experienced this happen before because we have too many screen going on and then our video. So yes, so then another form that you will fill out is it's called, let me open.
And so you say your client's reaction to you kind of sharing the idea of leveraging the life insurance collateral was fairly positive, or were they kind of surprised and, to their knowledge, not really aware of it?
Yes, they blown away like how fast that you can use the life insurance as a collateral compared to other. You know what I mean? Like I did not know oh, I did not know how fast I can have a million in my name and I can use it for collateral. So it's amazing what life insurance can do for a business owner. So.
Outstanding.
So this is the second form that the extra step that you have to do. And as you can see the title of this form, assignment of life insurance or annuity policy as collateral. So you can use life insurance and also annuity, which is your retirement account.
No, this is outstanding, Amy. And then just seeing like, hey, like it protects the
Yes.
business. Now, like, if anything happens to them, it's now a collateral and scapegoat.
And the best part is the beneficiary is your family, you the owner of this one, and the business pay for it because it support the business purpose.
Mm, right.
And
And so
and let me share with you also how much does this really cost him to do this. So let's take a look. Okay, so let me share
it's
you.
got to be expensive, right?
Make a wild guess, Anthony. How much do you think it will? A million, in your name, and it's a collateral. How much do you think it will cost?
I mean, $1 million. I mean, what? Relatively, it could be more than a couple of $100s.
Mm,
500.
yes. So I would say it's depend on number one. We all know in life insurance the cost is based on the age and your health and other stuff, right? So this case, let me pull it up. 40 years old, 1 million for 10 years to support the SBA loan. Let's see how much you pay. So this is the quote. So you can see the quote screen. Let me know if you see this, okay?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yes. So you can see $1 million, 10 year, and it's $83.16. That
Oh,
what do
wow.
you think? What is that?
That's relatively
That's why it's so
inexpensive. Relative.
exactly. And a lot of people say, "Oh, life insurance is expensive." This is another proof. Is it really expensive? For me, I think it's cheaper. It's cheaper than our iPhone insurance.
That part. But they're not ready to have that conversation yet. They're not ready to.
I know, I know. But
Nah,
this is a real
that's
proof.
it.
Yes, yes,
Wow. So $1 million policy for under $100 a month, and they're approved within under 2 weeks typically, right?
yes. And the longest part is because they have to go notary, and then the two formed extra they have to send it in, and that's it. So that's how
Wow.
fast that it can get
And
done. Yes.
wow. And then how does this compare to, I guess, traditional options that people typically go through?
Okay, let's talk about my case. If I want to take out money from some of my investment, if you don't have access to this or whatever, it will take
Hmm.
me at least the fastest one is about 2 months, and they will ask you all your financial from how many business you have, the tax filing of all that business. You have to
Hmm.
provide the P&L, all of that bank statement. Imagine that I have four business. Um, and you have to pull up all that, and then you have to have a good credit also. So
Oh,
the
wow.
longest one the longest one I have seen is like 3 or 6 months. And then some if you wait that long, the client maybe move on. They can't wait for you. Sorry, they have to
Right.
move to the next offer. So to get the money and the loan approved right away, so that's your winning card right there.
That part. And then, as you say, typically, even within that process, it's not guaranteed that they'll get approved, right?
Because we don't know what the hell situation, because life insurance they link with your they will check your health record and all other, but majority you in good health everything. That's the fastest way, easiest way.
Right. Yeah. And then compared to the other way where it's, hey, 2 to 3 months or maybe even 3 to 6, that situation is also, it's based on,
And sometimes they will check your personal and see, oh, you own too many debt, they may not approve you. And maybe you say, oh, I need 500,000, but say, sorry, Amy, based on your financial this year on the tax return of your all your businesses, I can only approve you 250. then what you gonna do?
Right.
You have
You're
to diversify.
750 in the hole.
Yeah, so is lending in industry, they have a lot of requirement for underwriting. So, and let's say some year that you really want to buy business, but that's year you file loss, then forget about take out the money from your equity. You have the money in your property, but you cannot do anything.
Mm.
So, yes.
And in that situation, when they take a loss, does that now push back that 2 year timeline that they usually look at?
Yes, usually SBA loan, they will require 2 to 2 years tax return. And they will
Mm.
check on the business for you and also on the not only on the buyer but also on the business itself.
Right. No, outstanding. And so now I love that. I love that. And like I said, high level, just to recap, and so much breadth of information. And I don't think people realize just how much impact that was. But we just covered how to get $1 million in collateral for under $100 a month, right? And what I love about this strategy is you just didn't teach, but you actually kind of live through this lifestyle day in and day out, right? And what I love to really kind of now transition and talk a little bit more about is, how do you personally get these policies to fund your real estate projects, right? Because this is where it gets really interesting, and I know you're excited. I see you're blushing, and then this is where I love the gems that you've been able to kind of share within the community.
So for my own family purpose, I realized this. Actually, my family used to have financial advisor, and they do
Mm,
all that. And
right,
when I sit down, put everything in Excel spreadsheet, and I realized, something not right. And in our insurance business, a lot of people get recruited, but I actually recruit myself. Took the class 52 hour myself. I pay my own. And first, I apply for the company that only do term because they promote do term and invest the rest.
right.
And when I go in there, I say, this is not for me, because most of the time people will spend the rest. They don't invest.
Right,
And investment is required. You read the news, and who has a crystal ball to tell you tomorrow what the market will be. So me personally, for the real estate project, I have a total about 8 life policy with National Life Group, one company. And you see, I have other thing with other company. And
right.
with National Life alone, oh, actually, I have nine, include a Kaizen. So I have about nine policy. So each
Oh,
of
the Kaiser,
them
we'll get to that.
will, yes, and each of them will give me a different purpose. And the most important, the asset of money when I need it. So let let me share with you. So recently, I just did one flip, and let me share with you how does it look like.
No, I love that though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, having 8 different policies, but then each of them serving an intended purpose for what you need it to provide.
You can pull out all of them if you need to, but each of them is we have the purpose for it. Okay, so this is one of my latest project that I just done for December 2025 last year. So let me share with you with the screen. Let, let me know if you can see it and when it loaded.
Mm-hmm. You can see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you see that back in November 21st, I pay back the loan because that's right after I sold one of my flip. So I throw it back in
Mm.
38,000. You see,
Right.
and then I did, yes, and I put in more money into my policy. I throw in another 10 grand. But take a look. 2 months later, I take out a loan in December 3rd. I took out a loan for 200 grand. And let me tell you how easy it is for me just to take this out. A click of the button, in about 2 days, I received this money in my bank. And you can see another thing, Anthony, you can see right here. I take out 200,000 and you see that December I still receive $527 for my interest.
Oh wow. See, you're making money on the money that you just took out.
But the most important thing is you got the money to do your flip and you still earn the money in here. So this is a actual transaction, but I will show you how does it look like on the statement so you can see clearly on that also. And then in January, you see I throw back the money in.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this is almost I don't know. I know that I can allow to say, but this is my own bank that I can put in and take it out anytime I want.
No, I love it. I love it. And you're paying yourself back every time, three different ways, five different multiplications. I love it.
Yes, yes. And this is how the statement look like when you borrow the loan. So let me share that with you. Okay, so this is actual statement. So all the policy, some of them may insure my own family, but I'm the one had access to the to do what I want. But it also protect my own family, with my family member.
Mm.
So this is the annual statement that you usually receive. And this is the part that I want to point out to you right here. You see the part where it say collateral loan collateral account right here,
Mm-hmm.
and I receive 4.10 interest on the money I borrow.
Oh wow.
So
And it's
there you
so
go.
interesting in our community when we hear about interest, it's like I'm paying back the money that I took out
You pay.
and additional money. But in your situation, what you just shared, and I don't think you realize how powerful that is, Amy, that as I take out money,
Yes,
I'm actually getting paid more money.
yes. Because for the flip that I did December that I pull out 200 grand, I also borrow a loan. I almost pay off pay off that flip because I don't want to borrow a loan because they pump they increase my interest rate. So my interest rate for 50% because I down 50% in that property, and
Hmm.
my interest rate is 5.87, which is good already. But if you have something now that you can borrow it out cheaper and you gain another 4%, why don't you do it? So that's the
Right,
route I
right.
take.
No, I love it. And you said our borrowing sounds counterintuitive, but you kind of broke down literally how I'm making money back from the money that I take out to then now make more decisions at 2 days minimum time, right?
Yes.
Another question I want to kind of flip is, with you taking these loans, do you always pay them back, or is there kind of a strategy for when you let it ride and decide to now follow back up on them?
You remember that you see the one of the statement I took out 200. I pay it back. Whenever
Mm,
I slowly pay it back because why? When what am I going to do with the money in the bank? They earn me how much interest? 0.0 something.
right.
So when I I throw it back in and let it grow, and you can see I gain about the statement of pull up the statement again. I gain about 9.95 compound interest. Will the bank give me that, right? Because if you do a 5 year CD, they give you about 4.5. But if you take out early, they will have a penalty charge if you decide to take it out early. In here, there's no penalty or anything, or no question, no nothing. You just take loan it out.
Yes, no, I love it. Thank you, Amy. Like that, once again, something very powerful that I don't think they really kind of grasp just yet, but they see that statement and how powerful it's now being something to leverage, right? And so I know as we talked about using SBA loans as collateral, right? We also talked about funding deals. But I want to kind of circle back to something you mentioned earlier with your eight policies and that one that you left off, but then you ended up later on mentioning is your Kaizen policy. Because this is the one that I think we've been really wanting to get to. Yes, you started this 10 years ago, right? And you showed me the numbers before we started recording, but I really want the audience to see exactly what I saw and maybe break down, how did you start this Kaizen policy And what made you decide to try it then? And how is it now starting to project now?
You know, I always, if I advise for my client, I'm the one first to test because why? I my client trusts me. I have to know for sure because anything is your reputation on the line, and that's why I'm lucky to have a high profile client that they trust me, um, to show them what I do. Kaizen is my test. That's the first insurance that I put in 20,000 just to test it out. The one thing I
Wow.
regret that I did not put more money into it, Anthony. I really regret
Really?
that I didn't put more
More money.
money if I was. Yes, because sometimes, for 20,000, as an investor, they have that. But a lot of people, that's almost maybe really hard saving for work to get 20,000 a year, right? So let's take a look at my statement that I just received in January. So let me pull it up.
And I know as you're trying to pulling this up, what was going through your mind when you first signed up? Like as you say, 20K towards this thing to see if it works. But hey, this is 5 years, or this is like the projected timeline. What was your mindset looking at that? Were you nervous? Were you anxious? Were you curious to be like,
Of course,
half and half? How,
this was nerve-wracking to do because did you try something new? But one thing that I feel good because this is something that my estate planning attorney told me. He told me, Amy, they're out there.
mm,
They have like that that the bank loan you the money to do so. When he said that, it ring a
mm.
bell. But back then, qualification very difficult because they require you have at least 5 million or 10 million in net worth, and you know um, the underwriting is very difficult. So now with Kaizen, you break down a small pieces, so it make more affordable. So that's why I don't mind. I start in trans number 13 when it first introduced to us. So let's take a look to so after 10 years, this is what it looked like. All right, to you. So this is a 2026 statement, and you can see if anything happened to me right now, the death benefit is 1.9 million. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, and you see that this is my portion that I put it in 20,000 for 5 years, and 1,500. That's just the trust fee that I had to because they had to create a trust for me to put this fund. And Anthony, take a look at the first year. Look at this, 12%.
Growth. Wow.
The interest that I earned that year. So so you see, I put in 20,000. The bank put in for me 18, 18, 18, and then the 6 year they begin to put in 38, 38, 38, 38. So they just done funding and the interest rate that they loan me to at the rate 5.35.
Wow. So at this point, they're essentially putting in the money that you put in for the first 5 years, and then the money that they matched you. Is that correct?
Yes, they they technically $1 they loan you three. I loan $1. I put in $1. They put in $3 for me.
Wow. This is generationally changing.
Yes, and I think this is what they do to recruit executive before. For example,
Hmm.
Anthony, you have a big company and you say, Anthony, if you come and work with me for 5 years, this is I will give you the lifetime income policy and also will protect your family. This is the best tool to you to recruit executive. Do you know that?
Mm. Definitely keeping a high quality clients in talent. also setting them up for retirement. And then look, it's no, as you said, I think you showed there was a year you had zero, right? Or
Yes,
there was no
yes,
gain, right? But you didn't lose
yes.
anything. The market
Well,
crashed, but you didn't lose anything.
actually, I were happy to see that zero because my friend that year called me say, Amy, I lost 36% on my portfolio. So in our career, whenever stock market crash, we busy because at that time people realize what the zero floor mean to us because investment change with time because when you were young you have time to make it up, but then as we get older we get ready to retire next year and suddenly you wake up in the morning you lost about you have million you just lost 300,000. So
Putting that into perspective, 36% can maybe seem like a good quarter or a chunk. But I just say if I have $1 million and I've been working my whole life, that's more than $300,000 that I've lost.
and I want to point out one thing. People say, "Oh, I just need to the market going up, back up 300,000, then I make even." No, no,
Mm.
no. Because back then you have million. Now you don't have million. You only have 700,000. So the 700,000 you have to gain about 42% to get back to where you were, not 30% that you lost in the market.
Because it's like 0.12, right? I have to gain more money than I lost. Wow.
Yes, because now you only have 700 to work on, not million anymore.
Right, that part. No, I love this, Amy. Thank you for being so transparent to share just the wins that you've gained on this. I want to also spin back because I remember there was an initial projection when you first did this policy
Oh,
back in 2016, where it showed you where your cash value was potentially supposed to be at, right? Um, and to this point, I think we see the 1.82. But what did it say? What did they say before?
okay, let's take a look together. Put it up. So right now it say if the 10 year I'm at the 1.931. Let's take a look when is were what were my proposal back then. So let's take a look. Welcome kit. Welcome kit. I think back then, if I remember correctly, I it will project 1.6 million back then. But let's double check on that.
Yep, I
So
see your
this one,
screen now.
the proposal is we see, right? And then this is where the
Mm-hmm.
proposal before. So it's year 10. Technically, I can they protect me at what amount? 1.6 right here, Anthony.
Mm.
So that's for the 10 year. The projection for only 1.6, but currently right now I'm at 1.9. So this will make your client have the moment, aha, I love it. It's over delivery. So 1.9 right now.
Nah. No, over delivery. And I know you were excited where, hey, when you did that review and the statement came out within January this year where I'm now 60 net positive of what my projection was to be. $60,000.
Yes, yes.
So now this is
And you
this,
know, so Anthony, this is one thing I like to point out too. I can use this one as a collateral, like a house or anything if I want. Okay.
mm,
And I can pay the loan, the loan money. Then if I pay the bank 249,000 right here, I will own this policy free and clear. And I can use this as a collateral to borrow the next loan for whatever investment project that I want to do. And talking about the
wow.
cost, I put in 100,000 and right now I have 182. Where is the cost for protecting my family for the past 10 years?
And nothing to lose but everything to gain.
Yes, that means I have to say, is this a free line shrunk for me? Yes. Is it
I
cheaper
love
than
it.
term? Yeah, then it's cheaper than term, right?
Right, that part.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
term is like a donation. I don't think people kind of see that piece. But what would you say to someone who swears by buy term and invest the rest?
When people do that, I often look into their financial situation because sometimes they can't afford. So, you know, somebody just buy a new home and they put all the money into mortgage down payment and everything, property tax insurance. So of course they don't
Hmm.
have that extra saving to put it in. But if they see the benefit, I think they will cut their cable to put it in Lifelong and do this for their family if they know, right?
Right, I agree. I
So
agree.
so the term for me is the term itself is always say the period of time you want to protect in short period of time, 10 year or 15 year. It's up to you. But
Hmm.
you can never collect back the cost that you put in. It's cheap for a reason.
Mm.
But
Once.
uh, but now, as you know, our company, most of the company that we partner with, we have the term it's called renewable. Let's say
Mm.
you 10-year term like my client. They say, Amy, I don't have a good health anymore. I want to keep that million. He can convert that into the whole life if he wants to. There's an
Oh wow.
option to do so. Yes. So that's the piece of puzzle that I want to point out. If you want to keep term, then good. But you still have time to think if this is something that you still want to do term, or you can convert that to something, earn cash value and you can tap into. So
No, I love it. I love it, man. Like I said, Amy, that statement right there, like that's proof, not a projection, not even just a sales pitch, but real numbers. A real account and a real valuable life was impacting others. And what I love most is that you didn't just learn this, but you lived it personally, taking the chances on yourself, right? So I want to also now pivot and think about and talk in detail of, the mindset behind all of this, because I think strategy is only half of the story, right? But what I want to do is kind of zoom out and think about, what were the areas that were a non-negotiable for you before you recommended it to your client?
negotiable. Let me think a little bit. So the no question to ask for me is, not why I do this, because it's my reputation on the line. And like I mentioned before, people trust you. So when you sit down and show people a different piece that they look into, you don't have to buy anything, but to look into another option. Because why? We getting older, and do we can we afford to lose our money when some people had to go back to work? I don't know if you remember the gentleman that did the interview for me. His dad had to go back to work because he realized that the retirement money is not enough for them.
Oh
His
wow.
father actually had to work because why? We live longer now. So non-negotiable because I think knowledge is a power, and to share with
Yes,
people
ma'am.
like this. Yes, money out there, there's a lot of them, but people think it's too good to be true. So most of the time, you hear that word.
Right. Too good to be true. It's so
Yeah.
skeptical, right? And I feel like it's previous trauma being passed down to us that we don't realize how that impacts our decisions, right? But
Yes.
then even pivoting, as you say, hey, you work with high earners, doctors, pharmacists, and dentists, who sometimes may feel financially stuck. What's the most common mistake you feel like you see?
Most doctor you already know, they very busy. They too busy that they didn't even look into their statement to know how the account performed. And then when they have some time to look at, they don't know where to start or don't understand the statement. So, sometimes agent, some of them in the career for a few years after they sold a policy, they no longer in career. Sometimes they don't know where to call, to keep update. But some of the doctors that I know, they're very savvy, so they do. And then every year I do the annual statement with them. So I would say I have seen that some people forget about what you have. So my question is, if you save your money to put in investment and you don't want to know how it's performed, then may as well you want to give that money to me, then I can invest for you, you know.
Right, right. With no losses, with no losses, right?
With no
And then
loss.
even to that point, what is that conversation as you're kind of digesting and you're sharing this, you're hearing some buzzwords to that conversation. What does the conversation kind of
Yeah.
sound like that makes you realize that they may be missing or have a gap that they should review?
Mm. The gap that they have is sometimes like we in this industry, we, we go to training to learn what new out there. Just like doctor, they have to go out there and learn new technology because we dedicate to this field, so we learn more about this field, so we know what new coming out. For example, the life insurance that I have when I was 25, it didn't give me the living benefit. It didn't give me the
Mm,
loan option. Take it out. So time change, people change. Even our car back then, I remember having a GPS is you had to pay option, but now it's standard. So that's what I say. Maybe open mind to learn what new out there, and you'll be surprised to see Kaizen or see something else like SBA loan, and you can get collateral. So,
yes, ma'am. No, thank you, thank you. I got a few more questions I want to ask you real quick. And this last piece of thinking, if someone is sitting on cash between real estate projects right now, right? What's the first thing you would like to tell them or share with them?
I would say, how about look into other option because
Mm,
like we all know when they have to sell that property because if they cannot get the loan, they have no other choice. They have to sell that property. And then when you sell a property, you have to pay for all the closing costs and everything too.
mm,
And make you have to wait, make sure your buyer get approved with the bank and everything. So my for my own, I always have the emergency fund.
mm,
And we all know sometimes some good investment that doesn't have to pay tax, you have limit. For example, HSA account, you can grow your money in health saving account, but they cap you every year. A family can only put in 8,500, uh, or maybe a SIP, a Roth IRA, tax free grow, but you have limit. And some people with high income, they can't even put it in. So there's a lot of option out there, and I think I encourage them to look into other things. That number one, you can use as collateral. Number two, take out when you need it, emergency. So
right.
there are options out there. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I know. I feel like I think I have an idea what you're going to lean toward, but I want to hear what you would say. What do you feel like is the smallest amount that someone could start with to make it worth their while?
I would say you can start always the smallest one. Like do like what my client do. You can do like 100,000. If he do 1 million and he pay only $83, if you do 100,000, how much you gonna pay? You know, using that, and then you will see. And then when you see the benefit, and a lot of people don't know. I have some client that they say, "Oh, Amy, I'm work for a company," and then one of my girlfriend, I told her years ago, I just found out yesterday with her chemo, and
Mm,
now if she no longer working, that term insurance the company give her gone, right? And she not qualified to buy anymore because now she already have condition. So the time you have to ask yourself when the time is when. So
yes,
we
ma'am.
don't
No,
know.
that's powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Last two I want to hear here. What is the one secret of money that you wish people knew more about?
Leveraging and invest young if you can. If I have known this when I'm in the 20, you know what I want to do. Yeah, I know I find out in 25 when I was 25, but imagine back then there no social media. Oh, my daughter, I remember she was at school, fifth grade, come home one day and tell me, Mom, I pay off my desk today because at her school they teach her she had to rent her desk, and then she every time that she do her homework turn in she get the money, so she had to do balance. So she come home one day, she say, Mom, I pay off my desk today, I don't want to rent. Can you imagine that the kids can learn that and if they adapt to it? And as for myself as a mother, um, I invest for my kid when they only years old. I already started. So the question is, when do you want to start it? And it's up to you. So let the
Yes,
compound
ma'am.
interest work for you.
I love it. I love it. No, that right here is a whole story, a whole show in its own, and one answer. And before I let you go, I want to make sure everyone who's watching and will be listening, who knows exactly where to find and how to connect with you, right? So I also want to share with the audience where they can be learning about this episode, and where can people find you, and who is the ideal person that should be reaching out to you right now.
They can reach out to you to find me, Anthony.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's a You can text me. Nowadays you must spam call. So the best way to contact me is email me or text me. And you think should I give them the phone number, Anthony, or you already have that information? So
If you're open to sharing it, I'll drop all of the links and all of your socials as well underneath the link for this video.
my phone number is 949 543 5757, and you can text me, and whenever I'm available I will answer you right away.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. And then the last piece is kind of like, who's the ideal person that should be reaching out to you?
Everybody, but I highly when I started, I had my heart in I want to support women,
Mm,
and your mom, you're the mother. I saw that a lot of my friends who give up their career, stay home taking care of the kid for 10 years, no no retirement account, no nothing from the company. And when something happened, a divorce happened, you want to take the custody, raise your kid, but you have no income to support, you may not win the case. So I would say women is the most vulnerable. I would love to add that as a mom because I'm a mom. I can relate it to you. And all the business owner out there, if you struggle and you want to find a way, um, what you do with your business, like you try to sell the business and you couldn't. So what is other way that can help you? So you can ask me, and if I don't know, I will research the answer for
I love it. I love it. No, thank you so much, Amy. This is a phenomenal conversation and story. Just reading to the people, man. If today's conversation gave you even just one strategy that you didn't have before, this is only the beginning, right? Everything we talk about on this show lives inside the Leverage Playbook community on school, resources, contacts, frameworks, and real people building wealth, right? The links are in the description. Come join us. It's free to get started, and the community is growing. And then, Amy, to you, I thank you. Go ahead.
you. To it, Anthony, a lot of people now lost their job.
Mm,
So if you think this is something that you want to work, like me, like you, I think this is the most meaningful career that I have been to, because before I couldn't stay in one job, you know, but I had been in financial industry for 10 years. I didn't think I will last in this career. And this has turned out one of the career that I enjoy the most. So there's opportunity for you too.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, I can't thank you more than enough, Amy. Real numbers, real proof, a entire full synopsis conversation. That is exactly what the leverage playbook is about. And to everyone listening and watching, share this episode with someone who needs to hear it, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yes. Thank you. Bye bye.